Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, now let's get into the future. Let's see what is going to be coming our way. It's already here. It dropped May 6, 2025. That is new X-Men. Let's talk about our first card, which is the premier card you get if you buy the season, and that is Esme Cuckoo. 3 cost, 4 power. On reveal, copy a card from your deck into your hand and set its cost to 3 and power to 4. So my first thought was like, throw you some big guys in there and have Luke Cage on the board. And I would assume you got Luke Cage out there, and now you got a 3 cost, whatever power you want to drop at any point.
That might be a good place to use Quicksilver and Domino so that you can put even more high cost cards in there.
Oh yeah, kind of stack the deck a little bit. I like it. That was my first thought. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it could be cool. I mean, my initial thing was there's too many cards that would mess up, which was kind of a knee-jerk reaction. Well, I wasn't tempted. I was going to sit this season, pass out anyway, but that one did not tempt me. But I mean, it's a card I want to get. Like you said, with Luke Cage, there's some cool stuff you could do with it. I haven't seen her a lot. I have seen her, but if you want to be a jerk, run Mobius.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I got Red Hulk as a 3/4. No, he's a 6/4.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see her being useful. I kind of wonder if we'll get any of the other Cuckoos. I believe the reason they chose her, you kind of almost wonder why they wouldn't have done just like a Stepford Cuckoo's card that gave you multiple cards. I think the reason they chose her is over in NYX right now. She is one of the main actually that just got canceled, but probably when they were planning this out, that was one of the new X-Men titles that have been announced. And she is one of the main characters, whereas the other 4 Cuckoos are antagonists in it.
Well, 5 Cuckoos, 1 right now. Let's see. I mean, now they've got, I don't know.
Well, they kept getting killed off, but everybody came back with Krakoa. So even the people who died after the resurrection protocols were ruined, Quentin Quire, Kid Omega, who I'm kind of surprised we didn't see in this one, he was a head in a box when that ended. And he's running around on a team of X-Men now.
All right, next up, Surge, 2 cost, 2 power. On reveal, give the top card of your deck -1 cost and +1 power. After you play it, repeat this ability. So anytime I see a neat on reveal that kind of boosts power, so break it down for me. How does this work?
It keeps going. It's like a chain reaction. Although there have been times where it hasn't worked, and I'm not sure why. But essentially, you play her, next card you draw, -1 cost, +1 power. You play that card, next card you draw, -1 cost, +1 power. So initially, I put her in my deck with the Thors where I'm just trying to boost everybody up to power up Gilgamesh. But there's still cards that, like, I wouldn't play the next boosted one because I needed to get Thor or Beta Ray Bill down or Jane Foster to pull the hammers in. I tried to just make a deck where it was a bunch of boosters, but it didn't matter. Depending on what happened, I could just keep putting out the next drawn card. I don't know how effective that is. I mean, it's been hit or miss in terms of winning. I do have Gilgamesh in there and Phaistos to boost him even more. And just about every card in there, except for Okoye and Surge and the leader. I need to put the leader in the deck again. Oh, and Nakia. Those are the only cards that don't get boosted, and Phaistos. About half the cards in the deck boost themselves, and the rest of them, except for the leader, boost the others. I just wanted the leader in there as a wild card. No pun intended. The idea is to jack up a bunch of power and then get Gilgamesh in there on turn 5 to boost himself, and then throw in the leader or the Red Hulk on turn 6.
So just like you said, it's a chain reaction. So if that next card, if you play it, and then it does the same thing for the next card, and this can go for more than 2 turns, right? It can go for as long as you're playing that card.
Like I said, sometimes it may just be something that I missed. There could be an explanation for it, but sometimes the next card hasn't been boosted, and I'm not sure why.
I remember seeing people talk about like, hey, this isn't working for Surge. I don't know if it's a defect or if it's a situation where it's a mechanic that conflicts.
Yeah.
But yeah, does Wong do anything? Have you
I
tried?
haven't tried her with Wong.
Okay, I might be completely
once.
off base.
I think they would just make it -2 and +2.
I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I've done that. It seems like I have.
Well, I like it. I think it's a neat card, and I haven't got it yet, but I'm pretty sure once I do, I'm not going to be too upset. All right, rock and roll. Let's go to Prodigy. 3 cost, 4 power on reveal. If this is in the back row, copy the text of the card in front of it. Like I said, I had it listed here it's going to be going where Iron Man's at. That's my plan. You got to strategize with that. You're going to be looking at a lot of ongoings with Prodigy. I don't know what else I could think of. Would you copy the text, do the on reveal again?
I would assume, yeah.
So you're going to do the on reveal again. I like the card. I think it'll be pretty useful. I haven't got any cards that does any of that, anything that focuses on rows yet. So that might change my mind. But the first thought I had was, okay, Iron Man, here we go. Let's double up Iron Man and then Living Tribunal. And that'll be another one that goes right into that deck. But I'm sure there's some probably better uses for it. What are your thoughts on Prodigy?
Yeah, I could see him dropping in behind the Hydra Stomper.
Right.
But it depends. I assume you could drop him in behind Batroc and suddenly you got 2 people
flying around. Right.
I think his power is like he can mimic the skills of people when he's in certain proximity to them. So that fits pretty well. In addition to being from that second new X-Men era I talked about, he was also a young Avenger, and he's also featured in NYX and in X Factor. He's one that they keep bringing him back, and he's one I'm not familiar with, but he's one they keep trying to make happen. He's kind of reminiscent of Iron Lad, because a lot of the ones that copy can only copy certain things, like Mystique only copies ongoings, Absorbing Man only copies on reveals, but he's kind of like Iron Lad, and you at least have a good now if he's on. Part of the problem is if he's on the back row, you got a 50-50 shot at what he's going to be copying.
A 50-50. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So that's better odds than playing Iron Lad without Howard the Duck.
All right, next up, Elixir. 2 cost, 3 power. On reveal, one of your cards destroyed last turn gets revived here. I put down here a nice little antidote to Gambit, which, okay, hey, you destroyed my card, huh? Here we go. But you also want to build your deck probably to make Elixir more useful than that. You can Nova, I guess. That would entail destroying Elixir to make that. No, wait a second. I'm sorry. I mean, you could revive Nova and get another boost out of Nova possibly, or something along those lines. But yeah, I didn't really have too much. It's going to go into Destroy. Destroy is going to make it's one of those ones that supports the Destroy archetype. So what are your thoughts here with Elixir?
Yeah, definitely good with Shang-Chi or Gambit. The problem is you don't know when they're going to get played. So probably you want him in a deck with Destroys, gives you more flexibility. I think ideally he works with Venom. You play a high power card, Venom destroys them, you get those points in one lane, and then you play Elixir and get them back again. And then if you're also using Null, you can get that card 3 times.
Can't complain about that. And
if it's one with a non-reveal, you get Firehair in there, you get the ability again. So yeah, he's a nice multiplier. Elixir was also from that era of X-Men, although he played a big role in Krakoa because he was one of the 5 that helped resurrect.
Start bringing people back. Right.
Also notable, he was the student who was making out with Wolfsbane.
All right, next up, Xorn. 2 cost, 3 power. After any 3 or 4 cost card is played here, move it to another location. My vision was to have Kingpin and Kraven on both sides of the middle lane and throw Jean Grey in the middle somehow.
Oh, nice.
And then just have them play there. And when they do, I mean, they could fill it up with 1 and 2 cost cards, but if they play a 3 or 4 cost, which they eventually are going to have to, it's going to get moved to one of the other sides. Now, again, so you better have a strategy ready to go on your side too. Granted, it'll run in, if it gets over on the Kraven side, you're fine, but I like the move mechanic of this. Of all the cards, I don't know, man. This season seems kind of even. Like, I'm not really drawn towards one like I was with Infinity Ultron.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a big plan for one of these cards. Zorn is probably the one that maybe speaks to me.
I agree with you, although Elixir, I kind of talked myself into him a little more.
Same here.
Yeah. I mean, Prodigy could be good. He's probably lowest on my list. And Surge, honestly, was the one that appealed to me the most, and I haven't been disappointed with her so far. Yeah. Speaking of comics, she just recently made an appearance in the rebooted for the 8 millionth time X-Force, although she died. So, and now they can't bring the mutants back, so I'm sure she'll be back by issue 12.
Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about with Xorn before I move on?
It'll be a little awkward if you have him with Jean Grey because he's the one that killed her, except that turned out to be Magneto.
Okay.
Then, as Chris Sheehan has told it, Marvel quickly undid that because Grant Morrison left and they were mad. So they were like, oh, no, that wasn't really Magneto.
Ah, boy.
But yeah, so Xorn shows up every once in a while. And there were 2 Xorns.
2 Xorn. See, I knew there was some big, like, the mystery of who's behind the mask, kind of like a Shadowhawk type deal. Who is that person? Yeah. Oh, well, they're awful strange. All right, locations. Here we go. Pit of Exile. Cards with 10 or more power cannot be played here. Pit of Exile. Does that ring a bell? That
it
location?
Does not.
Cards with 10 or more power can't be played here. Well, that's kind of nice. My thought was to get something in there that can build up over 10 power, which, that gives you a little bit of an advantage. But, I'm all right with this.
I do know what the Pit of Exile is.
What is it?
That is the belly of Krakoa, where they put Sabretooth and other mutants who got in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Except they didn't really think that through. The pit kind of became Sabretooth's own personal version of hell if he were in charge. And then they put some people down there that really didn't deserve to. But anything with the Sabretooth and Krakoa, I recommend skipping.
Skip it. What are your thoughts here with the Pit of Exile?
I think you've got the right idea. It's kind of like the big house where you can't have anything that costs more than a 3. It's a version of that based on power. There's also a lot of the Doom decks and things like that to keep Shang-Chi away. A lot of people try to maximize their power without actually hitting 10. Mm-hmm. It's not going to alter many games, but it could throw a wrinkle in there.
It's going to...
Good one to lead Legion on turn 5.
Oh, yeah. I saw you put a note down here. And really... I think it might actually influence what people play that week or that day. I think people are going to definitely stay away from it during those 24 hours that it's running. But afterwards, when it's randomly popping up in games, it'll be interesting. It may affect you. It may not. But if you're running a deck that has high powers, it's going to definitely affect you. I might not have that lane.
Good point. And I started to say the other deck I have that it would affect is my War Machine deck, but no, it wouldn't.
You can play anything anywhere.
So that'd be a good card to have with you.
All right. Next up is Genosha. After turn 5, all but your highest cost here are destroyed. So yeah, first thing I put down here was Legion. But I mean, it's a situation where Nimrod, maybe?
Yeah.
Nimrod's
probably going to be your highest cost card.
What does he cost? 5?
He's a 5.
Right. So
I like Namora, where you only want 1 card there.
Yeah. That's fair. That wouldn't be too bad.
Somebody else that will be good to try on that day is Annihilus, because I think the Void still counts as a 4 cost.
Yeah, that could ruin somebody's day. This will be an interesting location. I like the thought of this location, and this is definitely something that would impact your lane. People see it drop on turn 3. They're probably only going to be playing 1 card there. Might be an opportunity to get armor out and play that on after turn 5. You could get yourself a nice little advantage somehow by like, okay, well, I'm going to drop armor and some other 3 cost card here or 2 cost card, whatever it is.
Also would be good for X-23, Wolverine, and Deadpool destroyed a few extra times.
True. All right. Any other thoughts on that one?
No.
Okay, there it is. That's our discussion on the new X-Men. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.